So there is so much we want to do in Switzerland, but in some cases we just don't have enough space for it. And that is how our amazing innovation story began. I was able to work on this project from two different sides. First, I worked for our supplier of charging stations, and they are called EVTech. They are a Swiss manufacturer of charging infrastructure. And there I was the head of maintenance and quality, and now I work at CKW since January, and there as well I'm the lead for operations. So how did this occur? So how can you supply an innovation when you and your customer don't really know what they need? And have you ever thought about how e-mobility could look like to be useful and space-saving at the same time? So today I'm thrilled to present to you a groundbreaking project that represents a major leap forward in the field of electromobility. It's the first e-power tunnel that's designed specifically for charging electric trucks. But this isn't just any other charging station that you might have in mind. It's an innovative approach that keeps the whole charging infrastructure underground beneath the trucks. So when a truck returns to the depot at Galliker, the driver gets out of the cabin, opens a hatch, what we call a Gifasdeckel, some of you might know what that is, and take out the cable, plug in the trucks, and the charge immediately starts. But first, let me take you back to the beginning, where this all started. So our client's first initial idea was to build a large wall behind the 28 parking spaces. I tried to visualize it here a bit with my PowerPoint skills. And there you can see a truck parked backwards into the parking spot. And so we would mount all the charging stations at the wall. So 28 charging stations at the wall. But this approach revealed a major flaw because the cables that we would have to use would have been way too long because they would have to reach from the wall to the front, to the cabin where the driver gets out. And organizing these cables during daily business would have been prone to errors. And so one idea was to roll the cables up into a cable roller, but this too, in daily operation, isn't a good solution. So this wasn't the innovative solution for our client. In discussion with our client over the next few months, we came up with a new idea. We said, well, you know what, let's build 7 shafts, 7 big shafts. They are underground, and in each shaft we would house 4 charging stations each, so every shaft could power 4 parking spots. But this too had its issues, because the covers of these shafts were absolutely massive, and during operation, when you have to get down to the charging stations because of malfunction or any error, you would have to lift up the covers, and no truck can park over the opened shafts. So this too, like the first idea, had to improve. That is when our partners at Thomas Lührmann Partner came up with the winning idea. In one session, they said, you know what? Why don't we just build a tunnel? And so they proposed building a dedicated tunnel for all the charging infrastructure, so it would house all the stuff. But don't be fooled, it's not exactly like the Gotthard tunnel, but it solved all of our problems with space and accessibility and power distribution. Fun fact, actually, about the Gotthard tunnel: they are using the same energy, the same power that we are using for charging our 28 electric trucks, just to light up the whole tunnel back and forth. So this was the solution our customer needed. But a solution like that does come with some challenges. For starters, no one of us has ever done something like this before. And our product that we ordered for this is a power unit that can power 6 user units at once. And it was a new product development from our supplier. And this was delayed. Like a lot of product developments, it got delayed. And so we had to implement a more or less than ideal solution that would be even temporary for 1 year. So here you can see the construction of the tunnel. So what we had to do is, I try to visualize it again. We had, at the top, you can see all the power units. So we had to place 12 power units, and every power unit would power 2 user units at once. So 1 power unit, 2 parking spots. So for 24 parking spots, we would use 12 power units. So we couldn't even power all the parking spots that were available. And the final solution that we planned was we would reduce this to 6 power units that would power each 5 or 4 user units at once, so in total 28. And we are actually doing this now. In the next few weeks, we are upgrading this to the final solution. We ran into some unexpected issues as well with drainage, ventilation, that our client had to address when the tunnel was already built. And even the IT infrastructure was done in a somewhat ad hoc manner. And to be honest, in projects like that, the IT infrastructure is a lot of times not the first thing you would think of. So now the e-power tunnel is fully functional and represents a major leap forward in electromobility. We are able to power every parking spot with up to 75 or 100 kilowatts of power. And now I'm going to take you downstairs into the tunnel. I've made a quick video. I hope it works. Yes. So here I'm walking like that in the tunnel. And on the right-hand side, you can see all the charging stations that light up blue. And in every other charging station, you can see a ladder, like here, that goes up to the surface. So these are the access points where you can go down into the tunnel. And you can see some pipes from time to time. And on the left-hand side, you can see the trusses, what we call it, that carry all the heavy cables. So now I'm going to give you some technical details about the tunnel. It is almost approximately 150 meters long. We had to use about 2.4 kilometers of these heavy brown DC cables. And our distribution box has about 2,000 amperes. That's approximately 1.4 megawatts of power. So remember the Gotthard tunnel, how much power that is. So as Thomas Müller, our project lead at Gallica Transport, so passionately put it, he said, "Lasst uns handeln," so let's take action. And it is one thing to talk about sustainability, to set high goals and make plans, but it's the doing that really counts. So as you leave here today, I hope you'll remember this. Under the surface at Gallica Transport, there is a revolution in sustainable transport happening. And this project isn't just about charging electric trucks. It's about charging into the future, into a more cleaner and greener future. And what I'm concerned, that is what the whole Expo Group is about. So thank you.